Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. How do you like the retelling of the law so far? Bet you're looking forward to it either ending or picking up, and it's okay to feel that way. You've witnessed creation, the growth of man, the establishment of great nations, the fall and struggle to rise again, the struggle with faith, the birth of monotheism, the plagues, the gift of freedom, the epiphany, the journey through the wilderness, miracles. All of these great events, a macrocosmic projection of what we go through in our own lives. From cells dividing and forming and coming from the primordial in utero waters of birth, to coming forth and witnessing the letting there be light. Our growth and development as children and youth, learning, doing, being, striving, emulating, understanding, and learning our roles in life, our individual struggle with faith, our position, our own journey through our own wilderness of fear and lack, scenes played out in the lives of man throughout time. And always, we keep retelling the rules, the laws, the stories. And we learn through stories. Our retention is 11 times greater through story. 11 times. And you each have a story of your life. And that is the story to tell next Passover. The story of your life, how you overcame fear. Be the real life example, the example someone can emulate. And friends, you all remember the fairy tale stories of youth, and even more so, songs. Songs are short stories. You know the words. In fact, you probably remember the words to all the songs you loved. You can sing them when they come on the radio. They invoke memory and feelings, and they trigger a whole new direction from where we were. I've been thinking about our fortune. I've decided that we're really not to blame for the love that's deep inside us now is still the same, and the sound we make together is the music to the story in your eyes. It's been shining down upon us now. I realize now we all have a story, and yes, you can often see part of it in someone's eyes. Now, I was fortunate to have studied many years ago with the great writer and literary theorist Northrop Frye, who once suggested to me there was only one story from which all of our fiction came, from which all of our stories come, the Iliad. That one story contained everything all subsequent tales told. And one of the great stories that we know is coming in a few weeks, Rosh Hashanah. The head of the year, the real story of our life. It begins the evening of September 6th this year. Now, to many, it's early, but it's actually at just the right time. Its birth is a story. Its entire narrative is a story. We call it New Year's, but it's not New Year's. It is unnamed in the Bible. It is only referred to as Yom Teruah, a day of horn or shofar blowing. And I'm hoping our dear friend Peter will be gracing us with this brilliant shofar blowing. It's not the same without him here. Now, the blowing of the horn or shofar was for very specific reasons. And this day represented something very different than what we think of as New Year's. And we're going to talk more about that next time. But its narrative has changed because its identity changed. I hate to say it. It changed due to political reasons, and unfortunately, so many political decisions, as we've seen even today, are not often the best. Now, it's not one of the gathering festivals, but it is the time of the greatest gathering of Jews all over the world, of all communities. And we relish those special gatherings that occur, just as we relish the weekly spiritual gatherings when we all gather in our groups, celebrating common belief and faith, as we do when we come together as a community, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, a chavura, a fellowship, as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all, this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay, and even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her own special, personal way, once again we gather. And so go ahead and invite everybody you know. Some physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way you want to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. Intention is everything, my friends. You're going to see that again this week. Let's take some time now to use that intention and send some of that goodwill, some light and some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody. Floats through space, finding those in need, so send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world, my friends. It's not a job for us to complete. It is an ongoing task that we deal with, and we must do what we can. And a part of that healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Think of them. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. And special thoughts for Lori in Memphis, for Leo, for Alan and Aurelia, for Lawrence, for Lindsay, Mark, Luke and Nikki, for Adrian, Connie, for Mary and Matthew, for Ann and Kevin, for all of our animal friends everywhere, for the builder, the world, for Devorah. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotenu Makor Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all of our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, because all healing is a blessing, my friends. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now this week we read Shoftim, Judges. The retelling of the role of the judges. And it's all summed up in Deuteronomy 16:18. You shall put judges and officers in all your gates that the Lord your God is giving you for your tribes. They shall judge the people. Judgment with justice. Oh, what a powerful statement. Because we have seen that judgment and justice are not the same thing. That we have to have been told this in the beginning, that judgment needed to be done with justice. Well, that just speaks volumes about us. You shall not bend judgment. You shall not recognize a face. You shall not take a bribe, because bribery will blind the eyes of the wise and undermine the words of the virtuous. Justice. Justice you shall pursue, so that you'll live. Now, the importance of true pure justice cannot be underestimated. It is equated with living. Now, sometimes it's defined as the principle or ideal of right action. There is an order to the universe, one we cannot always see and one we cannot always understand. It is in the nature of things, justice. And since this is a section that's devoted to justice, There's further information on the cities of refuge and the incredibly important nature and definition of murder and accident and intent. Intent truly is the driving force in all action and reaction. Not guilty. For getting in your way while you try to steal the day. Not guilty. And I'm not here for the rest, not trying to steal your vest. I'm not trying to be smart, I only want what I can get. I'm really sorry for your raging head, but like you heard they said, not guilty. Now, knowing man as he does, how does God try and instill a greater sense of justice on earth? We have ego. We have separation and division. We have distance. We compartmentalize, we specialize, we theorize, we emotionalize. How do we try and keep a greater sense of justice? Well, we're told to ensure there are enough witnesses and that we have to maintain community. Now, this is especially true when dealing with capital crimes where death is called for, and there's a whole section on that in here. Deuteronomy 17:6. On the word of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall the one who is to die be put to death. One shall not be put to death on the word of 1 witness. The witness's hand shall be first to put him on to death, and all the people's hands after that. So not just from one person could a verdict ever come. In addition, execution was so important that it was a community event where everybody participated, starting with the witnesses. We didn't hand the task to others, as we did over time. See, it is of extreme significance that witnesses have to know that if they testify against somebody in a capital case in particular, they will have to strike the first blows against the defendant themselves. That conveys how serious their testimony is. But it is at least as significant that all the people in the community participate in the execution as well. Capital punishment is the act of a community in ancient Israel and even more so in democracies. In biblical law, the community must know that if they're going to have capital punishment, they must understand this means the community as a whole is taking lives, and lives are sacred. So there can be no mistaking this point. The entire community has to participate in the execution. And perhaps this fact that in ancient Israel, all the people had to carry out the execution, was one of the forces that led Israel to make capital punishment almost impossible in rabbinic law. At every turn, steps are taken to try and ensure judgment and justice go hand in hand. There was always this looking at people being decent and kind and respectful. There's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget, keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip. Here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Now, if we stayed humble and kind, my friends, perhaps there would be more judgment with justice in this world. Then we see a huge shift takes place in this particular small parsha, one that suggests when this book might have been written. Deuteronomy 17:14. When you'll come to the land that the Lord your God is giving you, and you'll take possession of it and live in it, and you'll say, let me set a king over me, like all the nations that are around me. You shall set a king over you, whom the Lord your God will choose. You shall set a king from among your brothers over you. You may not put a foreign man who is not your brother over you. Moses wasn't a king. This was a nation established without kingship. Kingship came late to Israel. It was not what was designed. And so there became almost a joint rule instituted. Checks and balances. The king had to be chosen by God. And so we see the rise of prophets picking and anointing the king. Samuel designates Saul and David. Nathan designates Solomon, and on throughout history. The stories of the kings of Israel and Judah in the books of Samuel, Kings, and Chronicles convey that kings are acceptable if the people want them, but their power is limited and has to be balanced by the power of prophets. And kings who do not listen to prophets or who imprison or execute them do so at their own peril. Now, as I say, we get a clue as to when this book might have been written, because we are also told the king has to write his own copy of this book of instructions so that it is inculcated in him and keeps him humble and kind. Well, the book of Deuteronomy was lost for almost 1,000 years. Could this be one of those kingly copies? Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear, send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them, and take advantage of the time you have. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our own efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are coming up fast. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Because the secret, my friends, of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith and unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May people everywhere know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. And work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. To make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. And please embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. Because we share together. We learn together. We help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. I remember you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Continue to ask why. Continue to honor and elevate the souls and spirits of those who came before. It's so important. Let's see a return to the justice in the world. world and help ensure it is divine, because we have fallen off. And we do things just a little bit differently now. I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money, and get me out of this. Lawyers, guns, and money, the new justice. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Practice forgiveness and be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself. And continue to spread a little goodwill to the world. And continue to be the miracle in someone's life. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.